welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. It has been some journey. We are now entering our third year with the Crew Podcast Network. And I am so excited for this year. I have so many new things that are coming up, but I'm going to continue to do my interviews on the first Friday of every month. But this year I have something special. I have a panelist, and we're going to be talking on the third Friday of every month. And that's going to start in March. So I'm hoping that you'll join us because we have some surprises. We got a lot of information. And I'm going to be honest, my guests, my panelists, they're some awesome people. So I can't wait for you to meet them. And I can't wait for them to share I'm not going to go that far. I'm going to wait for them to share what they need to share, but because we're going to be together for 6 straight months working on a lot of stuff, and we hope that you'll benefit from it. Think that you will. But tonight, I want to welcome you to season 3, The Basic Black After Dark. And this is the podcast that meets you where you are and gives you what you ask for. Tonight, we're tackling an essential yet overlooked topic. So I know men may feel a little bit uncomfortable, but I think you need to sit in on this. Women, we are talking about menopause. So wait a minute. If you are under what 50, don't think she's not talking about me. I got a little while to go. But at least you're preparing yourself for some of the things that we're going to talk about because you might have some questions. And it is early menopause. It's a life stage that impacts women globally, but it remains shrouded in silence because people don't want to talk about it. You want to talk about it with your man or your friend or people just are very, very close. Sometimes people don't even want to talk about it with their doctors. But what inspired me to speak openly about menopause? Well, I'm gonna brag a little bit. I went through it and I didn't go through what some women go through. So sorry, but not sorry. I didn't go through the sweats. I don't feel I went through the yelling, hollering, and screaming, but my kids may think something different. But I didn't go through the sweats. I didn't go through the pain. I didn't go through any of those things. It just went naturally. And I thank my maker for that one. But you never know when it's going to start. But how can menopause affect your life or career? And it affects people physically and emotionally. There are changes in your body, like fatigue and sleep issues. Like I mentioned, you can have night sweats. Sometimes you can have insomnia, and it can lead to daytime exhaustion where you've been up all night long, but you're just too tired in the morning. So it's making it harder to stay focused and productive. Now, some of us who are working, it can affect our career and our workplace. Productivity challenges like, again, lack of sleep. How many of you had brain fog? Well, this could be due to menopause. No, I'm not a specialist. I'm not a nurse. I'm not a doctor. I don't even work in that field. All I know is I work on me, and I know some people who've been through some things, and we spoke about menopause. But it also can impact the work efficiency. Now, confidence and self perception, feeling out of control of one's body, it might lead to self doubt or hesitation in your leadership roles. But what are most common symptoms that women experience during menopause? Sudden waves of heat, often followed by sweat and chills. You know, 1 minute you're hot, the next minute you're cold. How many of you thought that last night I sweat, I must have a cold? I'm coming down with something. Well, it could be some of those sudden waves of heat that you're going through. And it's not because of the 90 degrees outside or 103 outside, it's the 103 inside of you. Sleep disturbances and insomnia, difficulty falling asleep, or even staying asleep due to those night sweats or those hormonal shifts. Let me tell you something, the body is an amazing thing. Whatever's going to happen in your body is going to happen in your body. So when your doctor is telling you to take care of yourself, I'm wondering if they're thinking about menopause at the same time, especially when you got a male doctor and they're telling you, well, you need to take care of yourself. Well, he never had menopause or those monthly cramps. So, but I wouldn't tell you not to take the doctor's advice. Take your doctor's advice. Go to a specialist if it's getting out of control. Some of us of us gain weight and our metabolism changes. Some of us have the slower metabolism leading to increased belly fat. Now, I would swear that men had menopause because you see those bellies and it ain't from beer all the time. I honestly don't think it's from beer, but they talk about us with the belly fat, and some people call it, I think these young people call it a fupa or whatever they may call it. And they have difficulty maintaining their weight. Up, down, sideways, whatever. They got a little bit more over here, a little bit more over there. It happens to the best of us. Weight gain and metabolism changes, but it can also be due to age. A lot of this goes along with age, the age that we are, the age that maybe our parent, our mom had it. Good evening, Shanette. Hi, how are you? Thank you so much for joining us. Sometimes when your mom experienced menopause at a certain age, it's more than likely that you can go through it at the same age too, or around that time. But it doesn't mean you're going to experience the same thing because your body is your body and her body is her body. Now, those sleep disturbances and insomnia and those hormonal shifts, the weight gain and the metabolism changes, those joint and muscle pains, the aches, the stiffness in the joint, sometimes linked to the estrogen loss. That's why I say speak to a specialist because the estrogen loss is no joke. Sometimes you may jump up in the middle of the night with those cramps in your legs. It's stiff, and sometimes we overlook things. We look at excuses for the things that's happening to your body. I make excuses all the time. Oh, I just got this, it'll go away. Oh, that, this, and the other. And it starts to add up. And when it adds up, it becomes something. And sometimes that something can be too late. Now, I know I'm a victim of that where I won't go to the doctor for this, that, and the other. I don't have time. Well, turning 60 last year, I have time because now it's all about me going to the doctor. They're probably tired of seeing me to tell you the truth, but I'll call them, something hurt up, I'm calling them. I got an ache, a pain, anything, I'm calling them. No more looking in the book. Sorry, Google, but you're not my doctor. I'm not going to be Googling you and saying, well, Google can tell me this, that, and the other. No, Google didn't do an examination of me of what's going on. Google haven't been through this journey with my body and the different shifts and changes and you know growths in certain areas and non-growths, I'll say, in other areas. Now we can explain the difference with many things with our bodies, but one thing that I do want to talk about, and that's perimenopause, menopause, and postmenopause. Now, perimenopause, that's the transition phase. Typically starts in women around 40. Now, I told you before 50, but it could begin earlier or even later. Some people have early onset, some people have late onset. Now, when us young ladies get it and it's early onset, we missed our cycle, so we think that we're pregnant. Now, let me explain. We missed our cycle, so we think that we're pregnant. The thing is, you're pregnant because you don't want to accept the fact that you have menopause. It doesn't mean that you're old. It means that you're golden. You don't have to deal with all of that before. It means that you can wear white pants all year round and they ain't got to worry about it. You can sit on your furniture, your light furniture, and don't have to worry about no surprises when you get up. You don't have to do one of those. Do I got anything on my pants? You ain't got to do any of that anymore. So start to celebrate it at the same time. Don't feel miserable because you have that. Now, I'm gonna say something a little bit later on about menopause too that may get you to smile, but it can last for several years. Perimenopause. Some women experience perimenopause for maybe up to 10 years. Their hormone levels fluctuate, causing irregular periods, and that's when some people think that they're pregnant. Those hot flashes, oh, I must be pregnant. Sleep disturbances, oh, I can't even sleep on my back anymore. It's hurting me, so maybe the baby is on this side. And then mood swings. Oh yeah, I have those mood swings and I'm eating everything. Ovulation becomes unpredictable, meaning pregnancy is still possible. So don't think that I'm pregnant. Go to your doctor to find out. Don't go to the local pharmacy. Now, there's nothing wrong with certain pharmacies, But don't go get the little stick and it comes back, here, pop up, I'm pregnant. No, not always. Could be those false positives that you're seeing. That happens a lot. But think about it, 40 years old and starting all over again with a newborn. And maybe this is your first baby. And if that's the case, and it's a wonderful thing. I'm not taking that from anybody. I'm just sitting here talking to you about perimenopause and what some of us go through and what some other people go through. Now, menopause, the official milestone. I'm gonna tell you right now, I couldn't wait. I could not wait. I'm talking about I wanted to throw a party. I wanted to invite people over. Let's party. It officially diagnosed after 12 consecutive months without a period. The average age of menopause in the United States is roughly about 51 years old, but it can occur earlier or even later. Estrogen and progesterone, those levels drop significantly. So that's where those blood tests come from when you see the doctor because they want to see where you're at. So they can tell you about, no, you're not pregnant. No, you don't have cancer. No, you don't have MS. No, you don't have diabetes. You're in menopause. And that's leading to symptoms like the hot flashes, the night sweats, the vaginal dryness, the brain fog. No, you don't need to get ginkgo biloba. It's a brain fog. Some women experience more intense symptoms during this stage. They don't want to be around nobody. They don't want to talk to anybody. Some of them get to the point where they're crying really, really bad because they can't accept the fact that they have menopause. What I want to say, now, I'm not a very religious person, but I cut in there every once in a while. I think, and that's just my opinion, other people who have theirs, and you have a right to yours, but I have a right to mine too. I think when you're touched, and you know by who, with that stage of menopause, he's saying that you've done your job. And now I'm going to give your body a chance to rejuvenate and go through something else because I'm preparing your body for something else. For one thing, he's preparing us for what we call old age. Could you imagine someone being 90 years old with their menstrual cycle and they're barely able to move around and take care of themselves and do the things that we would normally do? Imagine a 95-year-old woman who can barely pick up a spoon or fork to eat, and she's still menopausal, but she still gets her monthly cycle. Who do you think is going to be taking care of her? She has to stay clean. She has to. It has to be changed. Her pads have to be changed. She might get to the point where she might not even know what that is. And here's the other thing: we know the red stuff. We know what that is. But at 90 some years old, how do we know that's what that is? It might not be her monthly cycle. It could be something else that's going on inside of her. See, the man upstairs know exactly what he's doing. He know when it's your turn, and your turn may not be her turn. I wouldn't care if y'all the same age, y'all went to the same school, y'all dated these guys, and y'all got the same amount of kids, and y'all work in the same building, you live in the same neighborhood. Your body is your body, their body is their body. And when you want to be touched by an angel, I'll say it that way, you're going to be touched by an angel. So there's nothing you can do to slow it down. Thank you so much. Hey, Patrice, how are you? Oh, Shanette says she was 48 years old. Patrice, you say, oh heck no. Oh my God. Patrice, yeah, it can happen at any age. I'm going to tell you. For me, it was a joyous thing. I enjoyed it so much that it happened. I was grateful. I was beyond grateful. I didn't know what to do with myself after that. But then there is that post menopause, life after menopause. That's where I celebrate it. It starts after menopause and it's usually confirmed maybe 12 months without the period. The symptoms may continue, but usually lessen over time. Health risk shift. There's an increase in the risk of osteoporosis because, again, your body is changing, bones are changing, increase in heart disease. and metabolic changes due to lower estrogen levels. So you have to see your doctor. Okay, you have to. It's very, very important. Don't think life is over because I'm postmenopausal. That I'm going to have this. I'm going to have those things can be prevented if you continue to take care of yourself. Many women longer experience menstrual cycles or pregnancy concerns. Man, oh man, you don't have to go to the store and you ain't got to buy no tampons. You don't have to go to the store and buy special underwear. You don't have to worry about it when you're sleeping in your bed and you got it on your sheets and you got to get up and wash your sheets and change your sheets. You don't have to worry about trying to soak it in bleach to get the stain out because it's going to turn yellow afterwards. So that's goodbye underwear, goodbye sheets. Those are things that you might not have to do anymore unless you want to sleep on your bed with a chuck. And when you do that, you're starting to age yourself. I'm not going to say go out gracefully. I'm going to say enjoy it. Enjoy it because here you go. Somebody younger than you may have their menopause. Better yet, let me do it this way. What happens if you were invited to an all white party? You can wear that white. She might not be able to because she never know when it's going to come. It has a mind of its own. She thought that it was going to come. Oh, maybe I'm a little late or it came last week, but it can come again. It has a mind of its own. Yes, we try to keep track of it, but see, I can do those all white parties and be comfortable. And I'm so grateful for it that this year I got rid of my old chair. My old chair was a black chair. Now I got a white chair and I can sit in it and comfortable. I don't have to worry about getting up and there's a oops. I don't have to worry about that. Well, the only thing I worry about is my granddaughter climbing up in the chair. So I kept my black one over there so she could sit over there. But I enjoy sitting in this white chair. I enjoy going to those white parties because I can wear white whenever I want to. And even in the winter, there's winter white. I know somebody's out there saying, you don't wear white in the winter. There's winter white. So calm your nerves. You can wear winter white. But it's still a good feeling. It is a great feeling. But there are surprising symptoms that women should be aware of. Yes, while most women expect the hot flashes in a regular period, menopause can bring now. I'm going to be real. If you know me, I'm just going to come right out and say some stuff. There could be burning of the mouth syndrome. That's that tingling or burning or scalding sensation in the mouth, around the lips or the tongue. And that's due to the hormonal changes affecting the nerve endings. That's why I say, see a doctor. Let them know what's going on. It might be something that you may be able to do. Different types of lubrication for that burning mouth and the tingling around the mouth. Maybe it's a certain type of Vaseline or Vaseline ointment that you may be able to use, or maybe some pills or something you may have to take. But then there's also that electronic shock sensation. A lot of people go through that. It's sudden, it's unexplained, it zaps like that, or it's tingling sensations. And that usually happens before the hot flashes. Sometimes you see people around certain ages, they jump, just got zapped. Though it may be linked to fluctuating estrogen levels affecting the nerve system, still, I'm going to say it over and over and over again, go see your doctor. Because what one thing may be, even though you're reaching that age, it could be something else. Or it could be a combination of both. So you never know. I'm not going to sit here and I'm going to say I'm a doctor or anything like that. But what I am going to tell you is go see one. Itching skin and formication. Now I said formication, not fornication. There's a difference. And I'm not going to go tell you what the difference is. You can go to Google for that. Some women experience an intense itching sensation or the feeling like it's bugs crawling on their skin due to reduced collagen and moisture loss. Sometimes cocoa butter is not enough to stop that itching because it can come back. And it can be an uncomfortable feeling. It honestly can be. So again, you know who you got to go to. You can also go to a dermatologist because it could be something else. It may It may not be due to menopause, or even your dermatologist have seen it dozens of times where they may say that you're menopausal. So if you're in your 20s and your 30s and you're getting that itching, oh, I'm just allergic to something. I just had something that I shouldn't have eaten. Go see your doctor. Could be early onset. Now, here's one thing that can happen to some people. I ain't gonna try to go there. I'm not insulting anybody, but I'm just keeping it 100. Some people, let me see what's the best way I can say it without insulting anybody. They may not realize that they offend when they're around people. Some people call it a body odor, but some people may not feel as though that they offend, and that's that again. That hormonal shift, it can alter your sweat composition, leading to a stronger or different smelling body odor. Even if hygiene habits remain the same, you could be a person take a shower in the morning, you come home from work, you wash up, you take a shower at night. You could be doing that on a constant thing, and that could have been your regular routine. But your body is your body, and it's and no one is going to act up. You can't sit there and have a conversation with it. It's going to act up, and it's going to do whatever it wants to do. But one thing it is doing, it's telling you something. It's telling you to go see you know who, your doctor. Tinnitus, oh gosh, the ringing in the ears. The estrogen impacts the nervous system, and some women develop ringing or buzzing sounds in their ears during menopause. So they think, oh, you see that a lot. Sometimes you may see your friends that are, if you're in your 30s, you may see your friends doing that, pulling on the ear. Might not be, something's in the ear. I heard something buzzing or something like that. Could be a combination of any of those symptoms. You know who to go to. Go to your doctor. Because the ringing in the ear and the buzzing, it may not be just an ear infection. It may not be that you slept a certain way at nighttime and your ear is bothering you. Go to your doctor to get that checked out. But the emotional and psychological impact on menopause and mental health, such as anxiety or depression, I don't know how many times I've seen some women who go through menopause, and I'm not faulting them and I'm not making fun of them, they go through depression. Because some of them feel as though, especially when they have partners, we're going to talk about partners in a minute. Some of them feel that if they're menopause, they have nothing to give. But then you might have some men who may think they hit the jackpot. No, she ain't gonna be able to get pregnant. I ain't gonna have to worry about child support. Those are those keepers. I can't tell you not to be depressed because you may have had a life goal of what you expected to do by a certain age, and then menopause hit. And then you got to concern yourself with the impact of how that's going to affect your body. But if that happens and the impact where it affects your mental health, then I want you to go see about a different doctor. And there's nothing wrong with going to see a psychiatrist. It's just to keep you leveled. And then you let your primary care physician know that you've been seeing a mental health physician. And they may say that I was going to recommend you because I've seen you maybe a year ago, and now you are in that cycle of menopause, and you just don't seem the same to me. So they want to make a referral, and all they're doing is looking out for your best interest. They're not making a referral because, like some people figure, doctor make a referral, they send it to the mental health doctor. They got something in common. They getting the kickback for it. He's writing a prescription. Boom! I got to go to the pharmacy. All three of them are lined up. That's going to be a part of that depression. You're gonna be thinking about everything. Anxiety is gonna set in. But again, it don't happen to everybody. Menopause can have a significant impact on your mental health, often leading to increased anxiety, depression, mood swings, and again, brain fog. The hormonal shifts, especially decline in estrogen and progression levels, they affect the brain, chemistry, emotional regulation, and stress responses. Sometimes you don't want to be around people. Sometimes any little thing can be a trigger. And sometimes you find yourself in a dark place. So, ladies, check on your friends. Sometimes they may just tell you that they're okay, but they're going through that phase, and sometimes it could be lonely. Now, you may have already went through it, or maybe you have not. Sometimes they're not forthcoming and telling you that they're going through menopause. Some of them may be embarrassed that they're going through menopause because some people look at people who are going through menopause as being old. I couldn't wait to be 60 years old because those 50s was a piece of work. In the 40s, to tell you the truth, I don't even remember the 40s. I honestly don't. But I'm going to remember the 60s because I'm going to be kicking it up. Menopausal in Norway. I ain't got to worry about it. Bathing suits, going to the beach, not worrying about a mistake or anything. Old school, wrapping a sweater around yourself while you was in high school, wrapping it so nobody would see because you got a stain on the back of your pants and you didn't bring the equipment with you. And you standing. When I say stand, you're standing in the office waiting for mom to come pick you up. You don't want dad to come get you because you don't want to talk to him about that. So just think of it this way. All them years that we done went through that, because I know some of you did, because we all got caught out there one way or another where we wasn't expecting it and girlfriend showed up without being invited. And that happens. But how can women navigate the emotional shifts that often come with menopause? Seek professional support, therapy, counseling, or talking to a menopause specialist. They can help you. Consider hormone therapy, which is the HRT, hormone replacement therapy. It may ease some severe mood symptoms. So hormone therapy, I ain't taking no pills, but if you got a headache, you'll take a pill. So what's the difference? Honestly, what is the difference? If you have a headache, you're going straight to go get yourself some medicine. You're going to get a pill. Some people say I don't like taking pills, but you do take it for that. Well, another part of your body needs your help. So hormone therapy might just be it for you. I'm not telling you have to go there, but it might be it for you. Practice stress reduction. Mindfulness. Now, I love this one. Mindfulness. Meditation. Now, I'm not going to talk about yoga. Yoga and me don't get along. Now, I can get down there, but getting back up is something else because I ain't trying to crawl on the floor to get to something to push myself up. I'm not going to put myself through all of that. Not unless you look a little good over here. Then I'm gonna go because I'm gonna need all sorts of help getting up. Oh yeah, baby, I need your help to come help me get up off the floor. And then I'll be back next week doing the same thing again, as long as they don't change the instructor. Or you can do those deep breathing exercises. Now, for those of you who've had children, you know how to do those deep breathing exercises, but just take it slower and take it in. Take it in that you're going through another phase. And it's okay to go through that phase. Prioritize sleep. A consistent nighttime routine can improve your rest and your mood. And sometimes you get to the point where that could be the best sleep in the world, where you know that you set yourself up to go to sleep. Now, say you're a person that's usually a night owl, and you usually go to bed maybe 12, 1 o'clock in the morning. You set yourself up, maybe you go to bed at 10 o'clock. Your body might feel good. Your body will appreciate you. And they're going to thank you in more ways than one. And it might be with your mood. It may help with your depression or your anxiety. Stay active. Regular exercise boosts the serotonin and it reduces the anxiety. There's plenty of ways that you can stay active. Now, I'm just sitting here looking at you. Some of you know what I'm talking about when I say you can stay active. There's other types of exercises. So you should be grateful for that menopause in that stage of your life. Because I know he will be grateful that he don't have to worry about talking about, oh, not tonight. So there's some kickbacks from it too. when you have menopause. Now, I'm not trying to make light of it for those who are going through it. I'm just letting you know that you're not alone and there are things that happen to all of us, but it happens to us differently. Like I said in the beginning, I didn't suffer any of those. And I thank my Lord for not having me to go through that. But as I get older, I may go through something else because I wasn't prepared to go through those stages of menopause. And when it happens, it may be worse for me because I didn't experience that and I'm not prepared to experience the next thing. Now, your social support, talking with your friends and your family, or a support group, it can ease emotional burdens. Now, remember, I don't know how many of you remember, some of you may be a little bit too young. Remember that episode, and I just love this show. I talk about it all the time. I talk about it at work too. And we do a marathon. Even my 8-year-old knows how to sing the song, Good Times. Remember that time when Florida, well, she just had attitude and things just didn't seem right. And then Michael was talking about mom may have menopause. She was going through something. Maybe she did. Maybe she was in that phase of having menopause. Look, she was with James for a long time. She already had her 3 kids. I saw that gray up in her hair. Now I love the actress that was playing. She really did. She played those roles. But you can see she had her attitude. She was walking back and forth. She didn't even know what was going on. So Walona decided to take her to a women's group. And she was folding her arms and she was adamant that she wasn't having no problems. Somebody asked her how many times her and her husband had relations. She told it was none of their business, but she said plenty. I know James was happy, but there was still something going on with her, and I don't think she exactly knew what it was. So talking to friends, family, or support group, it can ease that emotional burden. But your partner can be a better support during this phase. So if you're a man and you're watching this, and I hope you are, understand that partners play a crucial role in supporting women through menopause. You can offer understanding because they're going through stuff. Be patient and encourage them. Now, here are some key ways that you can help. Educate them. You've been dating them, and sometimes that could be your high school sweetheart. You're not thinking about menopause. Who at 18 years old is thinking about menopause? He sure isn't. He's thinking of other things. But you grow together. You start to learn a lot about each other. You get married. You have your children. And you're continuing to grow together. But your body is also growing and is growing in different ways. And it's offering you different opportunities. Yeah, your body do offer you opportunities. The opportunity to take care of itself or the opportunity to not take care of yourself. And when that happens, things are going to happen. So you educate them and educate yourself. Try to be patient with your partner while you're going through that because he should be patient with you too. Because he doesn't know what's going on. He hasn't experienced it. Now he might have some sisters or something like that, but he's not paying them any attention. I can guarantee you he's not. They may have thrown a shoe at him and he might not have known why. It happens. Be patient with him. And for you guys, be patient with her. Be supportive to each other. Help with lifestyle adjustments because it's going to be an adjustment for her and it's going to be an adjustment for you. Because if your thing was to be together on a Friday night and she's not in the mood, have patience. And ladies, let me tell you something. Sometimes these men can feel it. They feel that energy from you. So they can get it too, where they may not be in the mood when you are because right now you're not feeling that. You're not feeling that menopause is taking over and that you're feeling down in the dumps and whatnot. So you're ready to be okay that night. But you're gonna put this brother through a whole week of mess. And we can get messy. And I'm gonna tell you, we can get messy. We can have an attitude, sucking our teeth, rolling our eyes, saying things that we shouldn't say to them that we're gonna regret later on. We can get messy. Well, right now he's in his feelings, and he has a right to be in his feelings as well. See, I'm not always on the lady's side because what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. And sometimes, ladies, we can be dead wrong. Communicate about intimacy. Explore new ways to connect emotionally and physically. You find new ways. I'm quite sure you can be creative. And to tell you the truth, those ways that you find in exploring each other, it's like a roadmap, but not a bumpy road. You can explore different things about your partner that you didn't know before. See, both of you have aged. You didn't age and he just sat there. You're not 50 and he's still 18. You and he have a 50-year-old body. And things may not twist the way that they used to twist when you're intimate, but they could twist just right enough for you. And both of y'all are comfortable with it because you have that mutual understanding. Instead of not saying anything and keeping it a secret and then feeling as though you don't have it anymore, he don't have it anymore, communicate with each other. Because both of y'all could be thinking the same thing but afraid to say something to each other. But if you sit there and you have a conversation and you let them know how you felt, and it's not a blame like, well, you were doing this and I, because it could be about the way you were feeling. Some of us, some of you too, fake it, but is that fair to your partner? Be honest. Is that fair to your partner if you're going through menopause and you're in a depressive kind of mood and there's a little anxiety there and you know that y'all haven't been intimate in a while, but you figure, don't want your husband to go straight someplace else. Just think about it. What did you get out of it? You didn't communicate with them. So him touching you in certain ways, you're not feeling it. You don't want to be touched like that. But if you communicate, he can hold you gently in a different way, in a way that makes you feel comfortable. All he gotta do sometimes is just wrap his arms around you, and that could be your intimacy. You can let him know at times when you want to be held and when you need to be held. Because believe it or not, they need to be held too. I'm not talking about spoiling them or baby, but this is the time where you are finding out more about each other. You're learning more about each other. You're exploring each other. Because out of that, you may get a little bit more intimate because you're starting to feel comfortable. You're laying back and you're feeling comfortable. And both of y'all are having a conversation first. When just think about it. When is the last time that you were intimate with your partner and y'all had a conversation first? Be honest. You had a conversation. And I'm not talking about, oh, well, tonight at 8 o'clock, we're going to get busy. No. I'm talking about both of y'all in whatever area you in, wherever you have your little intimacy at, and y'all are together and y'all are snuggling and y'all are having a conversation. And I'm not talking about that one and done conversation. I'm talking about y'all are really talking about things. Your body and his body, that's a hemisphere because I'm telling you, you're going to find out about some things that you didn't even know. There's going to be ways of doing things that you didn't even know. Now, I know I moved away from menopause, but I'm wrapping it right back around it. It's because of menopause that it can have you thinking a totally different way. And it can also have you satisfying each other in a better way to have a better relationship. Maybe they'll even go and accompany you to the doctor so they can get a better understanding of what you're going through or what you may be going through. Sometimes when women go to the doctor and they're thinking they're pregnant and the doctor tells them they're not and their partner's there, she goes running out of the room. Now he may be excited or he may not be excited wanting to be a father at 50 some years of age. The best thing for him to do is love on his wife. But the best thing for you not to do is to push him away because he's hurting just like you, as maybe was expecting to be a father again. And that could hurt him just as much as it's hurting you. Before we wrap this up, and I thank you all for being here tonight and talking about the M word, yes, menopause. I want to share with our listeners that you can connect with me at any time. I'm trying to get better at social media, trying to get on a little bit more, and trying to stay on a little bit more. Still, right about now, they may be cutting some of these social medias down or merging some of them and whatnot. No, I just say I give up. Do what you feel like you got to do, and when at the end, just let me know because I'm already having problems just trying to get through whatever it is that I'm trying to get through right now. There's so many different names of social media. Something new that didn't come up. I'm sitting on the side. Somebody today told me about something, and I think it began with an S. I'm sorry. I probably wasn't even paying attention because I'm still trying to get through Facebook. But I appreciate you all. Learn more about the work that you put in with menopause and support your initiatives and your friends and your family. Again, we're wrapping up this episode. And for a brand new season on Basic Black After Dark, I hope you continue to enjoy us. I want to thank our listeners for your continued support. Last year and the year before that, it meant a lot to me. It meant a lot to our network. We're bringing even more exciting guests, deeper conversations, and an added platform. For those who are just tuning in or tuned in late, we have a panel that's coming up, and they're going to be sticking around for 6 months. Now, we've spoken briefly, and we just got everything together, and they're excited, and I'm excited for them, and I'm excited to be with them, and they're excited to be a part of this panel. So making that connection is going to be a little easier. But I want you to come back, join us on February 21st. I have not one, but two authors that I'm going to be speaking to, Najee Scott and Patricia Wallace. They have books out. You heard those names, Najee, Nadjejd Scott. Check out her book, and Patricia Wallace. They're also on Facebook. You may just want to look them up, friend them. Until then, stay safe, stay inspired, and thanks for keeping it basic. Remember, this is Black Diamond from the Crew Network, where we meet you where you're at and we give you what you asked for. So I'm hoping tonight I gave you maybe a little bit more than what you may have asked for. To tell you the truth, I kind of gave myself a little bit more than what I asked for. So good night. Have a safe weekend. Enjoy each other. For those who are going through that, love on each other. Think about it. Take your partner with you. Don't take advantage of your partner. Give them that space. Until then, good night. Thank you.